Hey, Soul Warriors, welcome to the November Energy Update. Now, this month is being called the decision point. It's the big one. We've talked about little ones leading up to this, and now here we are, where the noise is louder than it's ever been before. The distractions are bigger than they've ever been before. And we all see them, the latest headline, the fights in the polls right now, if you're in the US, like all these different things grabbing for our attention to keep our attention away from what our true intentions are.
That's so true because I've been recalling the types of energies that I've been dealing with for the past month, 2 months. And there's been a lot of distractions in the process. My own creation though, because it's like I don't want to deal with this particular energy that's coming up, or I don't want to deal with this particular thing I need to heal. It was just there was some resistance, and there was just like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, so that's when the distractions get really like convenient. Like, oh, Netflix distraction, doom scrolling distraction, ooh, election distraction, relationship distraction, hate my boss distraction. And then I don't have to deal with my inner shit.
Yeah.
This time is really calling for you to make up your mind. And this isn't about anymore is looking at who's wrong and who's right, because you're hearing so much noise. Like take love, for instance. Love is hard work. You can't love anybody till you love yourself. Love is this, love is that. Everybody's giving you different opinions, and all these things are right and all these things can be wrong. It's what works for you. So please stop looking for the magic fix out there, that one thing that, okay, this is the advice that I need to follow. Or maybe you're running around down all these paths, which are other people's paths, because it's what's worked for them. It's true for them. It might not necessarily be true for you. So this is asking you to pause and really tap into where your soul wants to go, where your heart lies. And do the work to love yourself. But you can also love somebody else at the same time. But that's entirely solely up to you. I want to give you a quick message before we get back to this episode. Unlock the secrets of your soul for free with Soul Notes. Say goodbye to feeling stuck and hello to the validation of your alignment. These weekly prompts are filled with reminders, gentle nudges, and sometimes a kick in the ass, all with love from your soul. Don't just take our word for it. Try Soul Notes for yourself and see the difference it can make in your life. Trust us, your soul and you will thank you. Just go to soulnote.org. That's SOULNOTE.org. Now back to our podcast.
And what if you're in a place where you're just not wanting to pause? Like, the energies are just like, they're going and they're telling you to, really look deep and answer those questions within yourself and be that fullness that we can be. But you don't want to pause. You just don't want to do the thing. You don't want to, because I'm asking because I know how I have felt the past several months, and it's been pretty clear that I'm just in this, I don't give a shit anymore. Mm-hmm. It's like I've been doing the work. I've been healing the things. I've been directly and deliberately asking energies for certain things, or even tapping into energies so that I can create certain things. And I'm just fucking tired, but at the same time, I'm really resistant and I don't want to pause. So what the fuck is that?
That was another thing that I got when I was working on this, what was coming through for November. That is, you've been following a lot of different, the latest, you should go do shadow work. You should do breath work. You should walk, all the things. And they want everybody to be really super clear that these are just tools, and you pick them up and you put them down as you need them. And the work presents itself as it needs to. I mean, you can intentionally, like you said, going into healing some things that you want to have come up. But there's a lot of stuff that we've suppressed for a really, really, really long time, because we've been taught this, most of us as children, to suppress all these traumas and all this bad shit that happened, and to just swallow these beliefs that don't align with our own values, because that's what we've been taught and told by, boss, teacher, religion, parents, whatever. And we've suppressed it so long that it feels big and hard and just blah, and we don't want to do that. Plus, this distraction of noise, it's speeding up. So you're feeling like almost like life's dragging you behind it some of the times. And how am I supposed to keep up with all the energies and all this other stuff going on? And at the same time, I'm going to dig deep into some childhood trauma bullshit that I'm just sick and tired of. Because
right?
I've talked about it in therapy for 85 years, and I've done all the damn things. I've done the cord cutting. I've done like,
Yeah. Like I've had the opportunity to connect with my inner child. That's been some of the work that I've been doing, and with these energies and how things have been and how they're progressing. Connecting was pretty hard for me at times. Just recently, I think I had a bit of a breakthrough. And it is because it's the November energies are asking to recall parts of ourselves back.
yes.
And to honor them, and to not to think of them as different parts, but to think of them as a whole. Because they're you. They're your energy. They're your experiences. They're the energies that supply your very existence. So in looking back at some of the stuff that I've been dealing with, and now with these new energies coming through with November, I can't help but think, now what? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I've gotten to this point. I've gotten to connect on some level with my inner child. Some of the other energies have kind of fallen away. So now what?
Yeah.
It's kind of in that thing. And again, it brings you back to that pausing.
Yeah, it's pausing long enough to start to identify yourself from a place of wholeness instead of from all these scattered pieces. That's what's fucked up about me. That's what's broken about me. That's what I don't like about myself. That's what other people have told me they don't like about me. And that's what I should do. That's what I could do. That's what I don't fucking want to do. That's what I do want to do, but I can't because... It's how do you approach everything from a place of unity, a place of wholeness, a place of love, and whatever your piece is. Now, the first step of this is rebuilding trust with yourself. It's really starting to talk to yourself. I mean, I know myself, I had a lot of like procrastination, perfectionism, being in control all the time. And I talk to myself like that. I can do 17,000 things during a day, but it's never enough. Because I had like 600,000 things in my head that I needed to get done, and I should have been able to. So at the end of the day, instead of like, damn good job that you did 17,000 things, I'm like, oh, we didn't do this and we didn't do that. And it's this whole kind of like shaming energy, blaming energy, not enough energy. And it's funny because on the flip side of that, I've always felt like, I'm worthy, I'm this, I'm that. And then I'm like, yeah, no, some part of me doesn't, because that's how I'm talking to myself. So it's listening to your internal dialogue and just catching yourself and redirecting back into a loving thing. Anger comes up. How can I love that part of me? Because it's angry because something happened to it. If sadness comes up, it's okay to cry. How would you support like a close friend that came to you and is devastated by something and is crying? You would support them. You would hold them. It's asking you to approach however you would hold somebody else in whatever your tender loving care is, in that highest honor of their being, how you respect yourself like that.
That's funny because I posted something about respect, about giving respect to yourself as much as you give it to others. Mm-hmm. We spend a good portion of our energy putting out. And
depleting.
Exactly. And then expecting our own energy to be full, when we're consistently just putting it out. And it was the energy after my meditation was about respect. It was about respecting yourself so deeply that you're honoring your energy, you're honoring your activities, you're honoring your words, you're honoring all the things that you need to honor for yourself. Because if you're an empty vessel, and we've said this before, if you're an empty vessel, there is no way you can give energy to other things or other people or to your family, your lover, your friend, anything like that. You think you might be supplying that, but you're not if you really look at it. So it's interesting you brought up respect, because that was something that was energetically in the air.
And they want you to know that respect at the beginning will be a lot of ego, because ego is the way that you've learned to protect yourself. You've learned to, instead of being the small you that feels threatened or not enough right now, the ego can stand up and be big and bad and protect you. So when you're starting to create these boundaries, you know, for yourself and for other people, really respecting your space, your energy, and your time, there can be a lot of ego flare up. And that's okay, because you're practicing and you're at the beginning of it, but just, it's like a word of warning to watch that, because you don't want to lean, you want to be in your confidence, but you don't want to be in that where you're cocky to the point that, you know, you're being an asshole basically. Right. And it's still being an asshole to yourself, because it's your ego is saying, you know, you're this little small thing that can't stand up for itself, so I have to sit here and be big and bad for you. When it's like, no, this confidence is accessible for all parts of you, because you are one whole being. Just like the scaredness of maybe the little part of yourself, that is also accessible to the ego. That's what's fueling the ego. So it's really seeing these things as not compartmentalizing them into, you know, my inner child is scared, my ego is angry. It might be, but the ego is also confident. The inner child is also playful. Like there's all sides of all these parts of you, you know, just like there is you. So like, stop breaking it down into this or that and micromanaging it. It's like, what do I want to bring out? What do I want to be right now? And how do I be that? And then seeing how it lands in you, because you know, when you're being kind of egoic and you're being kind of an asshole, that you can feel that in your being, that it's not of love, because love just feels a certain type of way. And you know what that is.
You know what? I've also felt a lot of angst. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
In the air, in the energy. And it's like, I myself have experienced it. And like, I feel like so incredibly rebellious energy that comes through, and like all sorts of interesting energies. That's for sure. And I'm generally in that energy of anger because of the stuff that I'm healing and dealing with. And to kind of jump out of that into this angst energy, like really just want to consistently go against the grain, you know, and November energies are feeling that way to me.
Yeah. And the reason for that is, if you look at right now, like this started several months ago, it'll go on for a few years. Fourth dimension, if anybody here deals with dimensional stuff, if you look at it like it's a long hallway, and the beginning of the hallway, it's connecting two different worlds. The beginning of the hallway is where we just came from and we're still living in. That's what you're watching implode all around you, is all this noise, it's distraction, this everything is black and white and this and that and me versus you. And I'm fighting for what I believe in, instead of like, I'm standing strong in love within myself for what I want, instead of fighting against other people, embracing what it is you really want. And then on the other end of this hallway is this new world a lot of us have heard about, 5D and above, where it's more of a unity consciousness. So we're in this long hallway sort of thing. And you got the old world trying to be as big and loud and crazy and crumbling as it can. So you can be like, oh my God, and just pay attention to that and stay in all those old programs. But then there's, that rebellious energy that's coming out right now. That's like, no, don't look at that smoke and mirrors over there. Look over here. It reminds me, I'm seeing Wizard of Oz right now, where he has that, the big green head that's the Great Oz, and she's like, oh my God. And then her energy, well, actually Toto, the dog, unconditional love, it's a pet, pulls back the curtain and she sees this little man like doing all these things, trying to keep your attention here so it's not seeing what's really going on. So that's what's happening. Like the Great and Powerful Oz is this whole smoke show that we're all living in 3D wise. The other end of the hallway, which seems so far away, for those of us who have been doing this spiritual work for a long time, we've been told over and over again, oh, now is the tipping point. Now is the time of the new lake. For years, we've been told
my God,
this.
It's so many years.
Yeah. And it was supposed to be, and it was supposed to be, and it was supposed to be, but humanity wasn't ready. We were like, our heels were super dug into these programmings. Whoever, all of us that created this game, like we did it damn fine job, because we are looped into these programs, ones that, I mean, they'll continue to come up. You're not just like an enlightened and you're free of all the, you know, you send and you're free of all the programs. Like they're still around and in there, and different layers of them will come up. So don't think like, oh, you know, fuck, I thought I dealt with that. Well, you did, to the level that you were at. And as you're expanding and increasing your capacity and moving down this hallway towards this new unity consciousness, new levels of it are going to come up, because you're going to have the capacity to deal with more of it. And that's again why it gets tiring. Like I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. I've been working on it for so many years. But I mean, if you like look at, you know, the bottom of like a cruddy trash can, like you can empty out all the trash, you can spray it down with a hose, but there's that, you know, the stuff that accumulates at the bottom of the trash can. Like that's what this stuff is. Yeah. It's thick and it's gooey and it's old and it's smelly, and you're like, I just don't want to.
Right. And I think that a lot of us are questioning a lot more than we used to.
Yeah, which is
you
great.
know, it's like you can tell that that the box in which we have created, that we call reality, is kind of, we're thinking outside of it at this point, because something just doesn't feel right. And those are the energies that are flowing through that are saying, no, this isn't the way to go. This isn't the way to act. This isn't the way to think consciously. The energies are saying is like, look within yourself, really see how you want to feel, really activate that part of you that knows exactly what the fuck it is that you want in life. And and imagine all of us doing that. Now you've got all this reality shifting, changing, breaking down, you know, transforming all different kinds of things. And that's the energy for November, because it's in a place where we're peeking out of the box. We're saying no more. We're saying, this is how I want to feel. This is what I want to create. And the energies are saying, okay, here we are. Yeah. Let's go. Let's do this, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's like, it's been working its way up to that. And if you're feeling like energetically, you're just like, I'm just done, it is quite fucking normal.
It is quite normal. And that's good, because that means you're like, nope, I'm not looking at the smoke and mirrors. I'm heading down the hall. And no matter what door opens in the hallway, oh, election time, this couple just broke up. You know, you're going to be like, okay, I see you. I release you. Close the door. I'm going to keep moving down the hallway. This is your choice. Now, a lot of people are not going to. So it is not your job. Repeat that. It is not your job to be waking other people up, to be explaining this stuff to them, unless they're getting into a conversation with you. That's okay. But it is not your job to educate or open other people up, because it's a decision point for themselves. Each individual here needs to decide if they want to open up these energies or not. And that's free will on this planet. Either one is okay. If they want to stay in the 3D world, they can. If they want to go into the new earth, they can. It's all good. That's what this game is.
Absolutely. It's also very interesting to me. I mean, the energetics of you know, being a human being, being a spiritual person, being in this very third dimensional space, the energies that flow through here are so vast and so hard and so many different ways, because that is just letting us know the kind of power that we have behind us and within us. And with November energies, it's asking us to say enough. It's asking us to expand more of us into it, so that we can manifest in such a way that aligns with the energy, and we're just completely riding that wave.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what it feels like to me. It's really interesting, and I'm curious, because why I've been resisting some of the stuff till this point. It's you know, again, that's being the human in me, that's the ego in me, that's all those things, and the fed up, your very, very third dimensional type of emotions, where I'm like, okay, I'm just being human, and I need to allow.
Exactly. Allow it to flow through. Whatever's presenting itself, allow it to flow through. And if you're feeling alone right now, because I know a lot of spiritual humans are, because it doesn't feel like we're at a tipping point, there doesn't seem like there's enough of us to create this. Most people who are really deep in this have isolated for a long time because they didn't want to deal with the noise. They chose to opt out of the noise on greater and greater levels as we've been moving towards this. And now that the hallway has been open for the last, a few years, actually, we've been able to start moving down that hallway. It's getting more resistant too, because the pulling back to the 3D and all the people you know and love that, have not chose to ascend at all whatsoever, evolve. And it feels like a lonely place. So I just want you to know that we're all out there, and this is like this whole heart coherence thing where we can all connect on an energetic level. But there's some of us out here feeling the pull right now to be talking about this and putting ourselves out there. So please connect with our communities. You can find us, on Instagram, Facebook, all the places, Snapchat, TikTok, we're there. And come over, because we have other soul warriors where you can link up with and not feel alone and feel truly seen and be honored in your rebellious, whatever stage you're at. All of you, like, that's what we really honor, each of our individualities and how they're all a part of this unity whole that we're creating together. So last thing, choose your hard. This came through loud and clear.
Choose your hard.
Choose your hard. It is super uncomfortable to be stepping away from friends, families, everybody's opinions, everything you've ever been taught, and moving down this hallway towards the new earth and being like outrageously just you and who you are unapologetically. That's hard. That's scary. Recognize it. At the same time, it's really uncomfortable if you want to stay in that chaos of the 3D. They're both difficult. They're both challenging. They're both uncomfortable. So you choose your hard. There's going to be challenges either way. There's going to be people pushing back either way. There's going to be people waving a flag like, "Ooh, I know the way over here." And you're going to be like, "Nope, I've got it in here. I've got it in my soul. I know my own way." And I'll meet you there when we all arrive at the same frequency. And if we don't, then, cool. It was great being on the same frequency with you right now. And, I'm walking my truth.
Yeah.
So choose your hard, make your decision. If you want to keep playing in the noise or you want to keep walking forward. And we hope to be walking lockstep with a lot of you.
All right. So that's the November energy update. Be kind. Peace.